Okay, so you want to make a music video, right? But you're working with maybe not a huge budget,
Yeah.
but you want to make it look awesome.
Right.
Like
Absolutely.
you were
That's true.
saying before we started recording, we were talking about how some music videos, they just look so professional. Even if the song itself
Right.
maybe isn't like super high production value, the video itself can really
Absolutely.
elevate it. So,
Yeah, totally. And, that's something that we all strive for, especially when we're working with a limited budget.
yeah,
You want to, make the most of what you have.
totally.
And I think we were talking about how some people, they prioritize lights,
Yes,
which I think is a fantastic idea.
totally.
And dancers.
Yeah.
Because, having great dancers is such a visually appealing thing.
Yeah, and just that movement and energy, especially if you got good choreography.
Oh, for sure. The choreography is key.
Yeah, there's a big part of it.
And then the other thing is costumes.
Oh, yeah. Costumes can really make or break it.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially if you're going for a certain aesthetic
Right.
or like a theme or a vibe or whatever.
Totally. I mean, think about some of the most iconic music videos.
Yeah.
The costumes really stand out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I think those are the three things that we should really focus on today.
Okay, so we want pro lights, we want dancers, and we want awesome costumes.
Yeah.
So to figure out how to prioritize all that and how to do that on a budget, we've got this breakdown here of like all the different roles that are involved on a typical music video shoot.
Okay. Yeah. Let's take a look.
And it's a lot. There's a lot of people involved.
Yeah. It can be pretty daunting.
Yeah, we've got the choreographer, obviously, because we want dancers. We need a choreographer.
Of course.
Dancers, the director,
Right.
cinematographer, lighting designer,
Mm-hmm.
set designer, costume designer.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you've got the producer, editor,
Yeah.
music composer, and
Mhm.
producer,
Right.
VFX artist, and then even production assistants.
Wow. That's a lot of people.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
lot.
And, I think the good news is that we can definitely combine some of these roles,
Okay.
especially if you're working on a smaller budget.
Yeah. Where would you start with that?
Well, I think one of the first things you can do is combine the role of director and cinematographer.
Oh, well,
I mean, a lot of independent films do this. The director also shoots the film.
yeah, that makes sense.
And, if you have someone in your network who is comfortable with both the creative vision and the technical aspects of camera work,
Yeah.
that's a great way to save some money.
So, okay, we're combining director, cinematographer, boom.
Right.
Already we're saving money.
Right.
What else can we combine?
Another thing you could do is have the editor also handle the color correction,
Oh.
instead of hiring a separate colorist.
Right.
A lot of video editing software packages these days have excellent color grading tools.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen some of that stuff. It's pretty impressive what you can do in there.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So that's another way to kind of streamline the post-production process. Okay.
And save some money.
So we've kind of tackled the pre-production and a little bit of the post-production, but what about stuff like sound design
Yeah.
and VFX?
Yeah.
Are those things that we should just try to DIY, or should we try to bring in like a pro for those?
I mean, those can get a little tricky.
Yeah.
Sound design and VFX can be pretty complex.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think it depends on your network.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a friend who's an aspiring sound designer or someone who dabbles in VFX.
Yeah.
They might be willing to collaborate with you at a friendlier rate
Okay.
or even trade skills for experience.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Like you help them out with something and they help you out with something.
Exactly.
I like that.
And if not, there's also a lot of affordable online platforms where you can find freelance talent
Right.
for these specific needs.
Okay, so we've got some options there for sound design and VFX.
Yep.
And then there's a section here on this breakdown for optional additions.
Okay.
And it says makeup, hair, and costume design.
Now, for our purposes, we said we want awesome costumes.
Right.
So maybe costume design, we can't totally skimp on that.
Yeah, you might want to have someone dedicated to that.
Yeah.
But makeup and hair, I think those are definitely areas where you can get creative and save some money.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Everyone knows someone who's really good at makeup.
Right. Like that one friend
Exactly.
who always does like the coolest Halloween makeup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or someone who's really good at doing hair.
Yeah.
So, tap into your network. See who,
Yeah. Just put out a call on social media. Like, hey, anybody do makeup
Exactly.
for a music video?
And you'd be surprised. I bet you'd get a ton of responses.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So for costumes, I mean, we said that's something we want to prioritize for this hypothetical music video.
Yeah.
What are some ways we can make sure that the costumes look awesome
Okay.
without like breaking the bank?
Well, instead of buying brand new high-end costumes, think about thrifting,
Okay.
upcycling existing clothes, maybe even rating the dancers' own wardrobes.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times dancers have really cool clothes.
They do. They have style.
They have style.
Yeah.
So, see what they already have that might work with the theme of the video.
Yeah.
And with a little creativity, you can achieve some really visually striking looks without spending a fortune.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
I think the key is to really match the costumes to the overall theme and mood of your music video.
Yeah. So just because we're thrifting or upcycling or whatever, it doesn't mean it can't look cohesive.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You want it to all feel like it belongs together.
Yeah. So, okay, to recap here, we said must-haves, choreographer, dancers, lighting designer,
Yes.
combining director and cinematographer,
Yes.
editor does color correction,
Mm-hmm.
costumes. We're going to maybe get the dancers involved, get thrifty, creative
Be creative.
with it.
Yeah.
Sound design, VFX, we've got some options there, either through our network or...
Or online platform.
Yeah, okay. This is starting to feel a lot more manageable
I think so.
now than when we were looking at that huge list of roles.
Right.
So any last words of wisdom for our aspiring music video director out there?
Let me think.
He's trying to do this on a budget.
Well, I would say think about the location.
Oh, okay.
Location, location, location.
Yeah, that's like the real estate thing.
It is. It is.
Location, location, location.
But an empty warehouse or an industrial space with interesting textures can be a fantastic backdrop for a dance video.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a really good idea.
And the best part is these locations are often much more affordable than renting a traditional studio space.
That's so true. Yeah.
So, don't be afraid to think outside the box and let your creativity run wild.
I like it.
Yeah.
So it is possible to make a professional-looking music video without spending a ton of money.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
It just takes a little ingenuity and planning.
And some creativity.
And some creativity.
I like it. Well, this has been super helpful. I think we covered a lot.
I think so, too.
And hopefully our listeners out there are feeling a lot more confident
Yeah.
about tackling their music video projects.
I hope so.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
It's been fun.
It has.